All right, U.S. History students, first let me take a moment to welcome you to the AP U.S. History course and kind of talk you through what you will need to do this summer to be prepared for the class when we come back in August. So the first thing that I want to show you is this Welcome to AP U.S. History document. This is linked on the summer materials handout that the counselors sent out. So you'll just need to click on the AP US History link right here and it will take you to this document. This document shows you exactly what I want you to do and in the most appropriate order. I mean, you could certainly do things out of order if you wanted to, but in terms of like being exposed to the content and what's going to help you master the content, I would do things in this order. So the first thing I need you to do is join Google Classroom. If you have not already done so, this is the code. And when you join our Google Classroom, it will take you to this page and you'll see I've already got some things posted for you. Then you're going to need to join our Remind account. So Remind is the primary method of out-of-class communication that I use. You can certainly email me, but I'm most readily available on Remind. After you've done that, you'll need to log into Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle is how you're going to access some of the content this summer and a lot of the content in class. You may already have an Edpuzzle account. If you do, great. You'll just log into that, and if you're in Google Classroom, you'll see that I've already loaded you into our class. If you don't have an Edpuzzle account, you will need to click on this link right here, which will take you to Edpuzzle. You will click Sign Up as a student, and then you'll sign up with Google using your Drew Charter email account. Once you have done that, I'll show you. When you log into your Edpuzzle account, you should see the APUSH 2019-2020 summer assignment, and you'll see the two Edpuzzle videos that you will need to watch. They are due, notice the due date here, August 1st. The note-taking guides for each of those are linked. You will need to click on this link and print these out. And after you have completed the two Edpuzzles, you will complete the Period 1 and Period 2 identifies. The identifies are basically my vocabulary assignments. So the vocabulary list is this document right here. So you'll click on that and you'll see that we have identify terms for Period 1 and Period 2, and this is going to help you kind of walk in essentially ahead. But the important thing, I think, is to go over how to do identify. So this document is linked as well. So identifies are not just giving me the definition of a vocabulary term. It is going more in depth for each term that is posted. So you will use the AMSCO chapter, which I have linked digital copies on Google Classroom. And if the identifies term is an event, you will, in the first sentence of your identify, describe the event. You will give me the most important cause of the event. This event was caused by, and then a consequence or an effect of the event. If it's a person, in the first sentence, you're going to tell me why that person is famous. In the second sentence, you will tell me their point of view regarding a specific cause relevant to them. And then you'll compare your person to somebody else in history. Think in terms of like goals and accomplishments, historical relevancy. Telling me that Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Jackson are similar because they are men is not helpful to you for the course or the AP exam. If the term is an idea, philosophy, or intellectual movement, you're going to identify what the thought is. Then you're going to give me context. Why was this thought, idea, or movement important at the time, and compare this thought to something in a different time period it could even be modern. If it is anything else, if it's not an event, if it's not a person, if it's not an idea, philosophy, or intellectual movement, in 3 sentences, you will include a description, context, why it's relevant, and then you can do a 3rd sentence about important time period comparison. So the most important thing is to, 1, avoid minimalist effort. 2, do not copy and paste from the internet. That is easily identifiable, and then that will result in a 0 on the identifies assignment, and you'll have to redo the assignment. And it's easy. It's the people who copy and paste from websites, it's pretty easy to identify. So I would not copy and paste from Wikipedia. Don't copy and paste from Quizlet because those things get flagged as you turn them in. I want this to be in your words, in your terms. Otherwise, all you're showing me that you can do is that you can copy and paste, and you're capable of much, much more than that. So to help you out, I've given you an example of an identify. This is exactly how I want it typed up on your Google Doc. So I want the name along with the APUSH theme. This will be given to you in your AMSCO. And then your 3 sentences will be separately bulleted, and you can see here what I've written and how it looks different. All right, so turning in identifies, again, no copy and paste from the internet. 1, it's easily identifiable, and 2, it's going to result in you having to redo the assignment. Do your best. Focus on less facts and more on the historical thinking. Each identification should be 3 sentences, and I want those bulleted. Use the example, and you will have vocabulary quizzes throughout the course that will test your knowledge of these things. So the identifies have been probably some of the most helpful things that students have had. When they get to the test, like, oh, I know that because of the identifies. And doing the identifies also helps you with other assignments in class. And then the last thing you will do this summer is a period 1 and 2 analysis assignment. And then I've linked this Quizlet set to help you review. All the assignments, the ed puzzles, note-taking guides, the vocabulary, and the analysis assignment are all due on August the 1st. One thing I think that is important to note, these note-taking guides, I want you to print those out and do your notes in writing. I do not want those typed. If you type up those note-taking guides, I'm going to ask you to redo them. So make sure that you print those out and turn those in your handwriting. If you have any questions, you feel free to reach out to me through our Remind, and I'll get back to you pretty quickly. I'm looking forward to teaching you next year, and I think we're going to have a great year. I'm very, very excited about our class.